Everybody, this is Richard, and this is Beyond the Castle Wall, which is kind of a hack of the playbooks of Beyond the Wall to accommodate a more dark fantasy feel. We'll be finishing up our Beyond the Castle Wall series tonight. I'm going to introduce you to the Drestfall family. We will get a chance to meet them, and we will start with Lyssa Drestfall, played by Mark.
Well, I'm playing Lyssa, and I am third in line of the Drestfall family. If my brother does what he ought to do, I will be second in line. And I am the forgotten child playbook, which means that I got to run around and do what I want and not necessarily live up to everyone's expectations as a child, which is kind of like a rogue character. My grandmother taught me the language of crows, which is considered to be demonic. And I have a map of the castle and a dark cloak. And I have demons that want to bargain with me. The ideal that I cling to is to study things before taking action. The line I won't cross, which I might end up crossing tonight, is I will not betray the family. And that's about it.
And your grandmother, shortly before this adventure started, fled because of some danger in your family, or believing that there was going to be danger in the family. She went back to the seat of her your grandfather's power, Castle Deerheart, which is some distance away. So she has not been around for this adventure, but certainly is a strong spiritual presence in Lyssa's life, I believe. Is that correct?
I would say so. Absolutely.
All right. All right, and going over to the second in line for the Drestfall duchy is Aitor Drestfall. Maria, could you introduce us to Aitor?
He's asleep, and he's also the wild one. So it's like the child that was kind of rowdy and shit, but he was actually noticed. So it's like, well, chill the balls down, and he didn't. So he punched his brother, the heir apparent, and he's asleep now. And apparently, he's listening to his sister probably consulting with demons. So yay!
At the beginning, Aitor started the day by seeing his commoner lover get sort of run down by a horse, and
by Tristan's horse, yes.
Yeah, and that's what led to, I believe, Tristan getting punched. And your mother and father have been very absent lately, and have been acting strangely.
And Tristan has a lover who might be the reason why we're fucked right now. So.
Right. Okay. All right. That is Randall. I lost his name just a second.
Westerfield or something.
Westerfield, like that. Yes, Randall Westerfield. I have so many NPCs. Randall Westerfield. All right. All right. In addition to the Drestfall children, was the hastily promoted court sorcerer. Started off as the apprentice court sorcerer, but then things went terribly wrong for your boss. Krista, could you introduce us to Stig?
I think you gave sort of the base of what Stig is. So Stig, at the last minute before Whispertongue was supposed to eat or receive his sacrifice, Lyssa and Gloria broke the circle and thrust his master into it. So his master was eaten by the demon Whispertongue, and Whispertongue got free because of that. So this has led to various problems with Gloria specifically in the group, not trusting Stig, although he has not done anything wrong yet. So, and in fact has pulled many people out of the fire or out of the water, as the case may be. But so, yeah, so he's got that to deal with. That's still in the background because Whispertongue has made himself known, what, once now or twice? I'm trying to remember.
Whispertongue has not been seen.
Well,
Except last week. Briefly, Stig alone saw Whispertongue in the shadows.
Yeah.
And how did Whispertongue refer to you?
Oh, how did he refer to Stig?
Yeah. Or how did he approach you?
No, he was behind Mael, I think. And he said, sorry to bother you, but I think you'll need me.
But Stig, of course, is not with the group because Stig is having a very, important evening in his young life.
I thought Mael fell asleep.
Well, you took your burgeoning relationship back to your cell.
Yes, but what else could I do?
Right,
because Whispertongue had been in the smithy, so needed to take him someplace safe where he wouldn't have those nightmares.
And that was your bedroom.
Yes. Well, I don't have the run of the castle since I'm not a Drestfall person.
Right. You are a hero, Stig. A hero. I mean, it's romantic and sweet.
So far.
So before all of this happened and things started appearing in the nest, or the Great Prince started appearing in the nest, another character had a date, but we'll get a little bit background before we lead up to it. Leandro, could you introduce us to Gloria?
Yeah, Gloria, she's the God-haunted playbook, which means that as a child, she's had the voices of divinity in her head, specifically a divinity known as Kyrie, who governs over agriculture, fertility, marriage, and the underworld. So she's kind of weird, I guess, in that sense. Grew up with mercenaries, hangs out, lives in the graveyard. Well, only recently because, as mentioned, Stig's master nearly sacrificed herself and Lyssa to a demon of words. So she's not been happy with that, and that's kind of why she doesn't trust Stig because, master's apprentice. It's a bit of a that's a close relationship, I guess, in her eyes. But it's mostly because she was that close to this demon, this eldritch power, I guess. She spent the last session getting incredibly drunk. I'm sorry, I just heard myself there.
Yep, that was me moving and dislodging my headphones. Sorry.
Cool. And yeah, she got really drunk. Might have said some nasty things to Stig. Kind of made up. She pushed him into a pool, into the arms of Mael. So I figured she was doing him a favor. And then there was the whole Grey Prince thing, and she had to sober up immediately because she had a date with the priestess. They talked theology. They also spotted a bunch of newcomers into the castle, a bunch of pilgrims under the employ of House Lysander from the east, and who were as a family that formerly employed Gloria's former family, which is a bunch of mercenaries, but they've come over to Drestfall, presumably for reasons that we will find out. And yeah, she's accompanied Lyssa to this meeting with this Grey Prince because she doesn't want Lyssa to be alone.
So I think, Gloria, you also, and I'll back up and kind of summarize that during the last session, the four of you, while skinny dipping in underground hot springs and getting very drunk, had a run-in with the Grey Prince, who is some sort of quasi-divinity from the old religion, who governs nightmares.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And agreed with Lyssa to have a rendezvous with her in the Crow's Nest, which is an old tower in Castle Drestfall that's much older than the rest of the structure. Or not in the Crow's Nest, the nest. Much older than the rest of the structure, and much higher than the rest of the structure as well. And only Aitor and Lyssa regularly visit the nest. On coming up, you discovered that Drestfall, the Crow's Watch, Drestfall Castle is on a pilgrim way through the mountains, and that several people wearing the livery of House Lysander presented themselves, and by several people I mean a small noble company, about 30 or 40 people, presented themselves wearing the livery of House Lysander and with supposed letters from the Duke and Duchess Lysander. There was a reception for your parents, a quickly, hastily assembled reception for your parents, and a moving of everybody's bedrooms around, luckily not Stig's. We hope. Which Aitor and Lyssa missed out on.
Aitor was there. Lyssa was eavesdropping.
Right. Well, you missed out on the room reshuffling assignments because you had an appointment in the nest. Gloria had a date that devolved into a friendly theological argument with a priest of the new gods named Sherry. It was still quite lovely and sweet. Before joining Lyssa in the tower along with Aitor, where the Grey Prince quickly dispatched Aitor, was unable to dispatch Lyssa by putting them to sleep, or was unable to dispatch Gloria by putting her to sleep, but was able to put Aitor to sleep in the hopes of having a private conversation with Lyssa. And we ended last night with the Grey Prince's offer, saying that whoever was out to get Castle Drestfall had recruited him, but he was willing to betray them and switch sides under what condition? Everyone's on mute.
Under the condition that we all have a nice meal and treat each other like friends and family, right? No.
Yeah.
No.
Unless Lyssa has to be the heir.
Dang it, Aitor.
He's fucking asleep. Well, technically he's still hearing because of what you said last time. So
yes, you can still hear.
He's aware of what's going on. It's just he's asleep and he can't say anything.
And let's pick up with a quick sort of summary of what happens in that conversation. Lyssa, what's your initial reaction?
Well, I've had a week to think about this, and I haven't spent any time doing so. So let me think about it for a second.
Lyssa's only had a second, but Mark needs it. Mark needs it.
Yeah.
And Gloria is still there, by the way.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I think. Well, okay. I'll let Mark go first.
Okay. Surely you can't mean fratricide. Is that what
Well,
you speak of?
darling, why would you need to commit fratricide?
I am but third in line. How else would I take the duchy?
Oh, dear. It's not that at least one of your brothers will need to die. Though I suspect you have a candidate. Purely speculation on my part, though. It's that... You have a brother who's not terribly popular.
So, again, you say there are forces allied against us, and you would betray them and aid us against them so long as I came to the head?
Yes. Yes.
I suppose I could convince my brothers to renounce their positions. And I turn to Aitor, and I see that he's asleep. And, like, I'm kind of, I don't know, I guess I'm just kind of awestruck to be having a conversation with a demigod. And I look to Gloria for help and advice.
Gloria is deathly still staring at the Great Prince, and she just says,
Is it the Great Prince, or is it an acolyte of the Great Prince? Which
"Is it the Great Prince itself, right? Or whoever's talking anyway?" Gloria's looking at it, look at them, then she looks at Lyssa and it's like, "Look, we all know you do well on the throne, but nothing good ever comes with consorting with forces we can't control. All this unspeakable power, all it cares about is itself, not us."
Does that go for all the old gods, madam?
It goes for anything that can play with us, that can just toy with us. Like we're nothing but playthings to you anyway. Just little amusements. Like you dance your favors and our futures in front of us, and we play along. That's all we are to you.
It saddens me. It saddens me terribly, but I'll leave you with this. If you change your mind, all you have to do is remove the brothers from the line of succession. And then I'm on your side. Until then, it's going to be so, so sad to see Drestfall go. For my tawdry employers. A great old family. I mean, granted, we'd have to change some things to make it work, not just the lines of succession.
Who? Which family? Who are you talking of?
Your family, Lyssa, a great old family. It would be sad to see them fall, but that's what I've been employed to do.
By whom?
No, 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 no. You know the cost of finding that information.
Begone, then. We have made up our minds.
Lyssa, keep my offer towards the forefront of yours while, you're able to keep your head. I mean, there's no specific hat on it, sadly. Not even a tiara. And remember this. Murderers cannot inherit. The new gods learned that much from us. All right, then. I'd like Lyssa and Gloria to both make a saving throw versus spell.
That's a D20, right?
Yeah, it's a D20. You want to roll over that number.
That's a 20.
Well done.
Ooh, I got a 14 under a 15.
You can reroll or spend fortune points. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah, remember, all your fortune points are back, and you may reroll with one of them.
all right. I'll give it a shot. 15.
Nicely done. Um, the two of you are able to stay awake. As the Grey Prince vanishes. Lyssa and Gloria, what do you do for the rest of the night? Do you climb down and return to your rooms?
I need to wake up my brother.
It doesn't take much to wake Aitor up.
Okay. So,
With the Grey Prince gone, it takes almost nothing to wake Aitor up.
okay. So I'm awake. I let Alisa know. Okay. So I heard the thing, I guess.
Yep.
So what's the plan?
The plan is to try to figure out who's allied against us and prepare the family.
House Lysander, obviously. And Randall Westerfield.
What's led you to suspect Randall?
Well, Lyssa, you told me that Randall was talking to one of the Lysander people, right?
Well, his valet was, but yeah, like they knew each other.
Yeah. Why don't we warn father that there's demonic forces or an old god or something at play here?
Well, I'd have to prove how I would know, and then I don't think anybody's going to enjoy that story.
Well, no one's gonna enjoy it when everyone fucking dies, okay?
Okay, if you think they'll believe me.
Gloria kind of speaks up because like she knows the Lysanders. Like the Lysanders are economists, though. They believe in money. They don't believe in gods or demons. They're very practical, boring even.
Then who do you suspect?
I don't know. I don't
Alright.
know.
Why don't you go check up on Randall? You're better at sneaking around than I am.
Okay, I'll do that.
Are you going to do that tonight, Lyssa, or is?
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
Although he's probably asleep at this point.
Possibly. Gloria, do you have anything you want to do before retiring for bed?
I think, let's see, it's midnight. I was gonna send her to try and mingle with whoever the Lysanders brought, see if there's anyone she'd recognize. So, I mean, probably been years since she's been gone from that family.
Right.
Although some of the soldiers did recognize her from the previous session. At least they were looking at her,
Right.
which could mean anything. But yeah, she might do some scouting to see if there's anyone she'd remember, or should remember her, or she'd remember.
Aitor, before heading to bed, is there anything you want to check on?
Not particularly.
Okay. So I think we're going to handle this sort of montage-y, vignette-y, single roll style. I'd like you to make a single roll, and Stig, I think you're occupied. I think.
If you didn't fall asleep, then sure. And I expect Stig would have ways of waking.
All right. So I think let's start with Lyssa making a dexterity check, and you can add stealth if you've got it.
I do have stealth.
Awesome.
Stealth, alertness, athletics, and trapping. Okay. So my dexterity.
And your plan is to sneak around the area where Randall Westerfield has been moved since the Lysanders showed up.
Yes. Yes. All right, so I got to roll an 18 or below.
Right.
Got a 3.
Well done, Lyssa. You don't find Randall in his own new little apartment. You, of course, as you suspected, find Randall in Tristan's apartment. But you also hear Tristan snoring. And Randall is talking to somebody in a low, hushed tone. And it's a human voice who speaks back. But Lyssa, both this person and Randall are speaking the language of crows.
What? That's not right. That's not right at all.
It's hard to hear them behind the door. and it's hard to sneak into a room with 3 people in it, even if 2 of them are asleep. If one of them is asleep, and
could I spend a fortune point to have a crow available for me to ask them to spy for me, to fly to the window of the apartment?
actually, sure, let's do that.
Okay.
And I think they will come. I think they will come see you tomorrow, because the crows are not happy about being abroad at night, despite their coloration. They're daytime birds.
What? That's cool.
So I think you're going to hear back from the crow tomorrow.
Okay.
But I will tell you, you heard this. You heard him. You heard Randall say something about yes, yes, everything is coming to fruition. And then you heard something else in Crow's speech. Oh no, no. Tristan will be very, very easy to control once the war is over. Or during the war. And all of this was in the language of crows.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight, so I don't think I will.
Are we in the same room, Lyssa and I?
No,
Okay.
that would be the Drestfalls are not the dress.
Okay, that
The
makes sense.
Drestfall lands are not the most wealthy duchy in all the land, but they are still a duchy. No one with the last name Drestfall has to share a room, including your mother and father.
But I will sneak into Aitor's room and tell him what I've heard, and tell him that I'll have more information in the morning. Which you can question me as to why if you'd like.
Well, I already know that you know the language of crows, so.
Oh, that's right. You do. We keep each other's secrets. Right. So I tell you what I know, and then I tell you that I'll be in whatever room they've assigned to me now that the Lysanders are here.
Aitor, what was the one thing you wanted to do before falling asleep?
Ponder over that information. I don't know. I mean, Aitor has been asleep for a long time now, so I don't know what else he can do.
Have you been down to see Roland?
Oh shit! Yes, that I should see that.
There is quite the goose egg on Roland's head, but he seems to be breathing all right. And he's kind of deeply asleep when you get there.
All right.
It's kind of propped up to keep him from rolling over onto his where he got a very hard knock on his head, and it is swelling in an ugly, bruisey sort of way. But he seems to be breathing all right, and they seem to have given him something that has taken away the pain.
Okay.
For a while.
All right. I'm happy with that.
Gloria, you were going down to sneak on a look at the guard, right?
Yeah, just in the general group, to see if it's anyone she'd recognize, but they'll probably be asleep.
Right. Okay. Make a. I'm gonna check your character sheet real quick, Gloria, just because I trust you. But I just like looking at y'all's character sheets. I wanted to see sort of what you were specifically good at. We're making a wisdom check.
Okay. Ooh, that's an 8.
So it was odd they were looking at you.
Sorry, say that again?
It was odd that they were looking at you, but you don't recognize any of these people.
Mm. Yeah, I think she noticed this, and I think that's I think she just noticed that and realizes that I don't. Yeah. As Krista said in the chat, are they? It must have been a while. Maybe that's what she thought at the moment, because, well, she's very, very tired at this point, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know how he doesn't have a severe hangover after all that wine, but I think, yeah, if she doesn't notice anyone, I think she'll just admit defeat at that point and try and get some rest. But she's filing in the back of her head. It's like no one here that she really knows, as in from the Lysander camp, unless they do something to her anyway.
Make another sort of wisdom check there, Gloria.
Okay, that's a 6.
It sort of just rolled up into a ball as you're sort of sneaking through. But you do see the emblem of House Westerfield.
Okay.
It's sort of folded up and set away.
Mm.
Uh,
Is that all she sees?
and there's still a light on somewhere inside the temple.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. No. Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah. She'll go to the temple. Sure. She just had a meeting with a god. She's tired.
Um, Once you sort of get inside, you see there's lots of guards. They're not necessarily looking at you. They're sort of looking at the sort of maze of small shrines and sanctums that make up the inside of the temple. And they're sort of clustered around a very heavily curtained sanctum. I'd like you to roll dexterity to see how close you can get.
Yay! My worst stat. Oh wow! I got a 6.
You did?
Yeah. Although now I'm second guessing if I actually even clicked the reroll button, so I might just roll it again because I got a 6 the previous roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just reroll it because
I
don't
trust
trust
your
it.
instincts.
Okay, so now I got the opposite of a 6, which is a 20.
You can spend fortune points.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that.
oh yeah. This is the last session. Might as well. Cool. One more go. And back to a 6. Okay.
You get very close by sticking close to the curtains and sort of wiggling between them while the guards are talking amongst themselves. Um, and shortly before sort of the guard sort of changes and does a small patrol, forcing you to sort of wiggle out and scamper away, you're able to overhear Grace Kemp receiving an official visit from the proxy, or the person who was introduced as the proxy of Duke Lysander. But he's not. I don't think we gave him a name, but I could be wrong. I'll look in a second. But he was there as just sort of Duke Lysander's proxy.
Oh, I say it's Hector Tatlock.
Oh, right, Hector. Right. Let me put that up there in my notes just to make sure. Thank you.
But yes, it's the proxy in Grace Camp.
It's the proxy in Grace Camp. The proxy, Hector Tatlock. Sorry, I misunderstood you. I give these names out, and then Hector is not wearing the livery of House Lysander, but he's not necessarily wearing much. And Pontifex Kemp is not wearing her vestments, though she does seem to have like a night dress on of some sort, or a robe of some sort. And he's reading her an official letter from Count Westerfield. And it doesn't seem to touch on matters of great import. Before he signs off, or signs, he reaches the signature line, and that's, this being quasi-medieval times, the signature line is 3 paragraphs long of all honorifics and greetings, and it's addressed to Pontifex Kemp, and it says, "Your servant in all things, Westerfield Duke." Or sorry, Count Westerfield. That. And that's when you hear sort of the guard coming around, and you're forced to sort of like skedaddle out of there. Stig, it's an important night in your young life. We'll leave it at that. And I think I'll take you all to the next morning, if that's all right. And what I'd like to know before we go to like a 5-minute break is, what are each of you trying to accomplish today during the daylight hours? And we'll start with Stig.
Let's see.
I mean, despite how good last night was, you still got a very dark omen.
Sure, and Mail certainly had to go back to his work, or things could get bad. So that's sort of a given. So I think Stig is probably unbearably happy all day, humming and driving everybody absolutely crazy as he runs around digging through his master's books and looking for anything that might give him indication of how to either defend or banish a demigod, or to find out what the gray man's true name might be.
Oh. Gloria, what about you?
I am trying to find Lyssa and tell her to, I guess, convince a crow to basically set it up so that Randall Westerfield is like up, like how do I put it? To out him in that he knows the language of crows. and like with that, since it's considered demonic, then and having him outed, and then shit will go down somehow. I don't know. It's a very bad plan, but I'll still do it.
Gloria.
Unlike Stig, she's probably incredibly tired and cranky, and I think what she'd want most to do is to get all what she saw and all the information to Lyssa, and her main goal is to make sure that no deals are made between Lyssa and any form of demigod or god or whatever. And partially that is trying to find out more about the Grey Prince as well, because although she did know enough, I guess, from the previous session, but I think there's more going to maybe a more learned source, like maybe people at the temple. No more, more about the Grey Prince. Specifically, someone she's sweet on, maybe.
Nice. And Lyssa, I know you're waiting on your crow. What else are you waiting on?
So let me just make sure I understand. Maria, does Aitor want me to reveal that Westerfield? You want to do that, right?
Well, I want to Westerfield to reveal himself by having a crow basically spook him, and people ask him why is this crow spooking you?
Okay, but you're going to try to do that, or are you asking me to try to do that?
Try to convince the crow. I can't convince crows.
Okay.
Only one of you was your grandmother's favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I have to take that into consideration. I think I want to have a scene with my father. I think I'd like to talk to him. For the purposes of like determining where my family stands and what they know and don't know and what's going on. So
Aitor, you're going to go talk to Lyssa. Lyssa wants to go talk to the Duke. Gloria is going to go talk to Sherry. And in true dark fantasy fashion, Stig will be hitting the books.
Yep.
All right. Did I get all that well summarized?
Yep.
All right, let's take 5. and I will see you guys at 15 after the hour. Welcome back. That's everybody. So, Aitor, you're looking for your sister the next day, and your sister has not had a night of sleep. You are young, though, Lyssa, I'd like you to check your constitution, but add 2 to it. Treat it as a 13 instead of an 11.
You're muted.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
My constitution's a 12. Do you mean to do a 14?
Oh yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. So yeah, treat it as a 14.
Okay. Got a 5.
Nice. Yeah, you're holding it together. And that's when as Aitor is looking for you, you see Maricia.
Okay.
And she sort of stalks up to you.
I wonder why she might be mad at me.
And she's like, "Were you trying to make a fool out of me?"
No. I was trying to give you something to do so that you could not worry about what you had seen.
Would you like to make a little charisma check there?
Okay. That's a 12.
What's your charisma?
Charisma's got a 12.
Right on the nose.
I got a 3.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and she starts to say something else. And then she just sort of like tears up and she's blotting her eyes. She's I hear you acquitted yourself quite admirably yesterday.
You mean with the horse?
No, I mean with the people.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, that's what the Drestfalls are supposed to do, right? We're supposed to take care of the people.
Next time you decide to take care of me, just give me something better to do than rearranging wines by, what was it, vineyard? I don't remember.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Don't be. You were right. I was very upset. I suppose I should go rearrange the wines now, or have they already done that?
Well, Aitor rearranged some of them into his belly, but the rest should still be there.
So I should work on replacing some of the wines as well.
Yeah. There were a few. We went down to the baths.
There's baths.
Yeah, when you head down far enough.
Down where?
Well, down below.
Below the castle?
Yeah, below the castle.
I've been down below the castle.
I can
I
show
mean,
you sometime if you'd like.
oh, well, no one's invited me into any crypts since Tristan decided I was boring.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you know, your older brother. He's an ass. But if you kick him hard in the shins, he gets embarrassed and leaves you alone.
Keep your voice down. Someone might hear you.
You're right. But if you're looking for company, drinking down in the crypt, you know,
Well, in the baths, but yeah.
I have better taste in wine than Aitor does.
Yeah. But that's a pretty low bar.
I have significantly better taste in wine than Aitor does.
I believe you.
Anyway,
Wine's your thing.
I better go. I see one
Oh.
of your brothers stalking you.
Yeah. They do that. Bye.
Aitor,
Yes.
you found Lyssa. She was
Alright.
talking to Maricia in the courtyard.
Alright.
When Maricia saw you, waved and walked off.
Okay. Lyssa, can we talk in private?
How private? Like
Like
back up the nest or just
somewhere where they can't hear secrets?
okay. Follow me.
Okay.
Lyssa, where are you taking people right now? Where are you taking Aitor right now? It's about, late morning.
There's
What did
There's
Lyssa find out from the crow even?
Nothing yet.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to start these scenes and then
there's this little room that I found, and it's great for like you can hear all around you, but what you have to say doesn't flow out. So
where is it? Is it somewhere that? I mean, you don't have to give me like on a map, but just sort of rough an idea of like.
it's a former barracks in the northeast corner of the castle. Not really used all that much. Although now the Lysanders or whoever they are might be there. So when I get there, I realize it's kind of filled up.
One
So
sec. Yeah, it's definitely got people in it.
shit. So I
mean,
think
it's not any Lysanders. It's not anybody wearing Lysander livery, but it's like all the camp followers.
okay. Then I quickly lead Aitor to someplace just beyond the wall. Beyond the wall. In the forest.
Beyond the castle wall?
Beyond the castle wall in the forest.
Alright. I tell him, or I tell Lyssa, can you convince a crow to spook Randall? Like, get
maybe.
him to confess that he can speak to crows.
Maybe. I mean, he'd have to be some place where the windows are open.
Where is he right now? Or when's
Highland.
dinner? Wait, question. Is the breakfast or lunch, do those have windows big enough for crows? The lunch hall or the dining hall, I guess. I'm asking Richard.
Oh, yes. I think most you would have to crank the windows appropriately, but it's summer.
Okay.
You don't get a lot of crows in there because crows are very rarely interested in coming inside.
Okay.
Especially not high perches.
All right. Yeah, I guess get the crows to come inside and out him or something. I don't know.
I think that would be something that both Aitor and Lyssa would occur to you, that crows are of the various birds that sometimes find their way into the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Crows are not normally one of them. And it would be an auspicious occasion or an inauspicious occasion if a crow were in the hall. Other than as somebody's pet, other than just being brought in by somebody who trained it.
Yeah, have one follow Randall, I guess. And pester him, I guess. I don't know.
They might think he's a chosen omen or something if we do that.
Then what do you suggest?
So you want to reveal that he speaks like me, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know how to make all of this work, Aitor.
Okay. I guess let's talk to Gloria and Stig and figure that out, okay?
Okay. I mean, I still haven't heard what the rest of his conversation was last night. Maybe there's some clue in that.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go find the others.
Wait, before you leave.
What?
I would never hurt you, okay?
I know.
I'm gonna go talk to Father.
Okay, do that.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess I'll go find Gloria and Stig. And Lyssa will talk to Lord Dressfall.
Unless the crow comes back first.
I think let's do the crow first, Lyssa,
Okay.
because I'd like to just quickly summarize what you learned. So Lyssa, your grandmother is the Dowager Duchess Wolfram.
Yes.
She is no longer the Duchess Wolfram.
Okay.
Your uncle is the Duke Wolfram. Your mother's third youngest brother.
Okay.
We don't need to detail everything that's happened to your mother's other brothers.
Okay.
But the crow brings back to you and suggest they didn't talk much longer, but stole this paper. There were many, many shiny things on it. It was very beautiful. I have kept the shiny things, but thought you might want the paper. By shiny things, you think he means the signet gold wax?
Okay.
There's emblems of where there was broken wax on each side of the paper. It looks like this was opened, and the wax has been pulled away in several places. It's unfortunate. That would be where the signet was stamped. But it's also been chewed on by crows.
Okay.
So it's a little icky, and not, the edges are a little worn, more worn than freshly opened unsealed letter, or relatively freshly opened unsealed letter should be. But it's the last page of a letter. It says, like, remember, when everything is done, my oldest nephew lives. My dear niece, for her beloved grandmother's sake, gets married, preferably to a Westerfield. And my other nephew, what happens, happens. Instability in the castle will take time to repair. And a new staff will, of course, need to be found. But I do believe the Westerfields are capable of it. I am in all matters yours, Wolfram. Much as major lords have a tendency just to sign by their district or family name.
Okay.
And this is the only page the crow has brought back to you.
Okay.
You can ask one other question about the things the crow heard, if you'd like to.
Have any of them been speaking to you or your kin, or just amongst themselves?
Just amongst themselves. We have them convinced we don't understand anything they're saying.
Oh. So they have tried to talk to you.
Lord Westerfield has a very heavy southern accent. It is unpleasant to the ears.
Okay. All right.
It's almost like talking to a raven.
Thank you, friend.
So let's skip over, as you go to seek an audience with your father, a private audience, correct?
Mother could be there too, but yeah. Like,
right. But definitely not Tristan.
If that's the only way I can see him, then that's okay. But no, I just father and mother if possible.
Let's go over to Stig, who is whistling while searching through books.
They're horrible human flesh-bound books.
They may not actually be bound in human flesh. That may just be a thing he said to get you not to touch them.
Sure, this is true.
Possibly.
He said lots of things.
He did say a lot of things. Stig, why don't we have you roll intelligence? With treat your intelligence as 17 rather than 15.
Got a 6.
Nice. Stig, ask me 3 questions about what you've been looking for. And feel free to push back if something is just too vague to be useful.
What is the gray man's true name? And go for the jugular there.
I think there are 2 names it could be of gods associated with the nightmare realm or with the realm of nightmares. Atrextus and Coria. So you're able to narrow it down to just those 2. From what you know about the Gray Man and the Gray Prince, what recommends that it might be Atrextus? Who is said to be a forest lord of nightmares, who rides a black steed, and the black steed rides you in your nightmares. What about what you've seen so far makes you think it's Atrextus?
It's a black steed, and the black steed rides you in your nightmares.
You've been able to rule out several others.
Trying to remember, did any of us have horses in our dreams? Well, wait. Well,
Gloria.
what was the
Gloria's nightmare horses.
Yeah, there were the
They weren't. Oh yeah,
The ghost
were-
horses.
phantom horses.
yeah, phantom horses in the real world. So
Mhm.
I don't think you should.
Well,
Yeah.
only Gloria saw them, right?
Yeah, only
It
Gloria
was
saw
the day
them.
of the stampede,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which included all the horses breaking out of the stables
Mm-hmm.
that morning.
Right, the horse stampede.
Well, 3 mornings later.
So we're thinking that we have. So it seems like there was horses involved, and then of course, when you're having nightmares, a nightmare.
Yeah. But you haven't been able to narrow it down between Atrextus and Corio. What is it about the nightmare fiend Corio, the haunter of dreams, who makes you think that may be the true name of the Great Prince?
Hunter of Dreams. Corio, you said the name was? C-O-R or K-O-R-I-O?
Corio.
Let's see if it's not having to do with steeds or anything like that, the Hunter of Dreams. Then the funny thing is, of course, I don't think Stig had any of the nightmares.
No.
So he didn't experience it firsthand.
But you did fight the nightmare things in... So you've encountered the Grey Prince a few times, or the Grey
Right.
Prince's servants a few times. What is it they do that suggests to you it's Corio?
I'm really at a loss. Just if I'm making it up, I would say probably that they insert themselves in the background into regular dreams and not just nightmares.
Oh,
So
nice.
the people that they've chosen as their targets have them in the background somewhere, sort of monitoring and watching their dreams.
All right. Nice.
And maybe
Good job.
they're in the background even sort of doing something, and so when the people wake up, they might have a melody that they wake up with.
Nice. I mean, not to hit on Stig's, capacity to, like all smart people, to read about something and then immediately doubt himself. But you did wake up whistling.
This is true.
Who knows what you dreamed about? Maybe there's something you're forgetting. Who knows? Well, Stig, 2 more questions.
How can we banish the Gray Man?
Once you've narrowed down which true name it is, you will need to do it while binding and banishing one of its servants. Physically banishing, like physically throwing it away from the castle, out the gate, over the wall, something.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So by physically banishing one of the Gray Man's servants, we'll be able to effectively banish the Gray Man for a while.
Yeah. Not for good. You can never banish anything with that kind of power for good.
Sure. That's why it's banishing.
But banishing in a way that unbinds its contracts on this place. And what's your last question?
What does the Gray Man fear most of all? Or I should say, well, yeah, sure. What does the Gray Man fear?
Good question. Stig, you've stumped me, which is fair.
Well, it doesn't mean I get the answer to that question.
To be forgotten.
It could also just be
The
a
Grey
normal
Prince
dwarf.
is said to fear the undead who do not dream.
Okay. That's a tough one. Does Stig happen to know off the top of his head who the undead are that don't dream?
The likely... Make another intelligence check just real quick. Just,
Okay.
just in the off chance.
Just on the off chance Stig knows the answer to that one. Got a 12.
Got a 12. There are many undead who seem not to dream. Necromancy has never been Stig's specific field of study, I don't think. Stig doesn't seem like the edgelord type. However, it does seem quite logical, Stig, for the unintelligent undead. Do not dream because they have neither hearts nor brains.
Such as the skeletons underneath the castle. Okay. Cool.
Gloria, you were going to spend the day talking to Sherry, were you not?
Yep.
Why don't we check out and see how Sherry's doing? The temple is actually not that busy. There's certainly the Pontifex is receiving both the Duchess and the or is visiting both the Duchess and the proxy, Lord Aitor in the Cape. Meaning that for the most part the temple is not getting a lot of visitors. That seems slightly suspicious for people on a pilgrimage. But then again, you know, the soldiers aren't technically on a pilgrimage. The soldiers are just guarding the pilgrims. Then again, Lord Aitor is the proxy pilgrim for House Lysander. So it's not hard to find Sherry. Who I think looks at you and is like, do you want to keep arguing?
No, I've had enough argument for a while. I just want to know if the Lysanders have been treating you in the temple well at all.
They are hardly here.
Sorry, say that again.
They're hardly here. Not that I've seen.
It's good to know. And also, I want to emphasize, Gloria looks like a complete mess because she didn't have time to go back to her little shack at the graveyard. She actually stayed at her old rooms in the castle that didn't have a change of clothes. So she's still kind of wearing what she was wearing the day before. She looks like an absolute mess. And then she does notice that there's not many people around here. And she draws close to Cherry and it's like, last night I saw Hector Tatlock here talking with Grace, with the Pontifex.
The proxy? The Lord proxy for the Lysanders?
Yeah. Oh wait. Was it him? Sorry, I'm
Yes,
actually misremembering.
Yeah, that is who you saw.
Yes, cool. Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. He's supposed to be...
But past midnight?
Past midnight?
Yeah, past midnight, they weren't wearing any of their finery. They looked like they were meeting outside of official, means. Something like that.
She looks at you and she's like, that's absurd. When you take a pilgrimage by someone's proxy, you swear it except when you're sleeping. Wear their colors and their emblems.
And Gloria's like, well, no, look, what I know about Lysanders is they're not. They say a lot of things, but they don't mean a lot of things. And Gloria kind of looks around and she's like, I have a really big favor to ask, and you're free to say no, but
You want to argue more?
well, hopefully we can argue more in the future. But look, okay, this might be a bit much, but I want to know why the proxy of the Lysanders is meeting with the Pontifex late at night and reading out letters to each other outside of official means. So I need to sneak into the Pontifex's offices.
So you want me to do something and get me profoundly disciplined and you banished from the castle and the town?
Yes.
Make a charisma check, Gloria.
Okay. That's a 3.
A 3? Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Gloria.
Okay, yeah, go
on. She looks at you as like, this better be worth it.
It will be. It'll all pay off. Things are happening that are honestly bigger than the two of us. But you can trust me. You know me. I wouldn't get you into trouble for stupid reasons.
I should ask how long you think you need.
Just 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I think. I don't want to put you in too much trouble. It's all I need to go through and see what's afoot.
She pats your hand. She walks away. And you see her talk to a few people just very casually. And she comes back and says, I can't guarantee you'll get 5 minutes and you need to split or hide. No, you'll need to leave as soon as I give a thrush's whistle. And she makes a low thrush's whistle. Okay.
Thanks for it. Yeah. Well, sorry, what were you gonna say?
As soon as I make the thrush's whistle, you must leave. And don't steal anything.
I won't.
No matter what it is, don't steal it.
I won't. And I think Gloria kind of grasps Trey's hand and just squeezes it a bit. It's like, thanks very much. And she prepares herself.
You'll make an adventurer out of me yet. And then she just casually stands at the end of the hallway to the Pontifex's secretary's area.
Mm-hmm.
She leads you kind of there and just kind of casually stands there to where the Pontifex's private correspondence is conducted. I'm going to give you. Ask me 2 questions about what you find.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have to move pretty quick.
Okay.
So
is there
ask me,
any
I should say, let's start with 1, and if you have follow-up questions,
okay,
you might use them on that instead. So
yeah. Is there any correspondence with the Pontifex from Randall Westerfield?
there is correspondence from the to and from the Pontifex stacked up on the desk, or I should say from the Westerfields. It is stacked, uncurled on the desk and weighed down with paperweights. It's used to uncurl things that you plan to continue reading. Do you have a follow-up question on that, or do you have another question about another topic?
Well, I was gonna ask what's on the what was the correspondence about?
Yeah, I think that's like it's just looking at just looking briefly. You can tell it's about. You can tell it's something about the Dukes of Wolfram, and about promoting a war between Lysander and Drestfall.
Wow, that's incredibly careless of her to leave that out in the open.
You can stick around, but you're pushing your luck.
Yeah, I think she sees that and it's like, yep, that's seems to be a bit of a smoking gun. So I think, yeah, Gloria won't push her luck. She's not. She's pragmatic enough to not push it.
The letter from last night that you heard the very end of is actually looks to be quite incriminating. You would need to take a closer look at it.
Okay.
Are you going to try to take it with you?
Ooh.
Now that could cause a good bit of reaction if that missing letter is discovered before you're able to kind of present it.
Okay, yeah, she'll take it.
Make a dexterity check just to kind of restack things in an innocuous manner as possible without.
Oh no!
Not as quickly.
All right, that's a 12. I'm re-rolling because my dexterity is an 8. I'm prepared to waste all my fortune points on this, which is one more. There we go. That's an 8. There we go.
Okay. You're able to slip it out, and it starts to snag. And you catch something that you knock over as you're trying to slip the letter out. Reset everything. Roll it up. Where do you place it?
Yeah. On her person, I guess, or
like up your sleeve.
Yeah. She does have long sleeves. Yeah. Or maybe just up against her stomach.
And that's when you hear the thrush whistle.
Okay, yeah. And yeah, Gloria absconds from the office.
Do you go to re-talk to Cherie, or do you just get as quickly as possible out of the temple?
I think Gloria gives Cherie a quick nod. Almost want to say, that doesn't really make sense in this world. But yeah, just quick nod, and Gloria quickly departs from the temple.
So you duck behind some storage areas, and you're about to scamper away because there's a side entrance or side exit near to where you are. Since offices for the Pontifex are really an afterthought when you're designing a temple, they tend to be just a curtained off area with maybe some like thin walls. And you hear Cherie nod, or Cherie, kind of her tunic rustle as she curtsies and greets the Pontifex. And the Pontifex says, Sherry, and it's just, the Pontifex just very pointedly says, did you hear a thrush? It seems very out of season for a thrush. What do you do?
Gloria stays put, I think. She's not gonna reveal herself.
You can make it out the door.
Yeah. I think she does that.
She's like, Sherry, why don't you come? Like, as you're running, as you're kind of skedaddling away, it's like, Sherry, why don't you come into my office with me? I have a question I'd like to ask you. Where are you headed, Gloria?
She's gonna try to find Lyssa.
Convenient things that Aitor wants to look for Gloria, and Gloria wants to look for Lyssa, and where's Stig?
I think by the time all of this has happened, we're getting back to evening. Does that sound about fair?
What a busy day.
You know, there's been a lot of researching and finding people and making appointments.
Betrayals.
Betrayals. A lot of trips out to the woods, which are never as quick as you think they're going to be.
Mark's internet is down, by the way.
Oh no! Thank you.
Either that or his nose is really, really itchy, according to this image.
Okay, let's give Mark just a second. Okay. Hopefully that is going to be okay. Why don't we take... Oh, no. Let's go ahead and... well, that was Lyssa. I was going to do Lyssa.
Well, Aitor was looking for Gloria, so we could have that. I don't know if you want everyone together.
Yeah, I was going to assume that, you know...
Well,
I didn't want to make you guys just... Okay, so I think the question now is that 3 of you all have information. As you rendezvous, is there anything you're not sharing? I don't want to do the whole scene, but is there anything you would avoid sharing with anybody else?
The fact that Lyssa can speak to crows.
Right.
Though I think we're not going to that with that plan because we have incriminated details here. So
Yeah, Gloria shares the letter quite freely to the 2 of them.
Stig, is there anything you're not sharing of what you learned?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Stig would share it because he's going to need Aitor to, we're going to have to go get a skeleton, I guess, theoretically, or 2. And that's going to take some work. But Stig will pull out this ancient holy symbol he has. I think this will help us. Because for some reason, Stig has an ancient holy symbol. But that was just like one of those random things that Stig ended up with. Maybe Gloria knows what the symbol is.
Oh, do you not know, Stig?
You would think I would know, but maybe it has another meaning. Maybe it's not what my master
told me. Did you
told
get it from
me.
your master, or did you get it from... Okay, you got it from your master. Or did you just find it in his things after he disappeared?
Okay, Mark's back.
Yay!
I think I probably found it in his things.
Okay. And it doesn't fit any of the new gods, does it?
It says ancient.
What is the primary symbol on this holy symbol? Or you can give me two symbols. Like a crow against the sun would be a symbol, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, I was thinking of a sun, actually. I was thinking of a cloud against the sun, actually.
And you've never, I think it stands to reason, have not had a chance to show this to Gloria yet. Have you?
Uh-uh.
Are you showing it to her now?
Sure. Because I'm thinking maybe this will help us with this sentence.
Yeah, I think
Gloria, make an intelligence check.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's no way my master didn't know that there were skeletons underneath the castle. Had to know.
That's an 18. My intelligence is at 10.
Do you want to re-roll it, or do you want to stand with it?
I have only one fortune point left. Things might happen in the next hour, so I'll leave it be.
I think it occurs to you that it might not occur to Stig, Gloria, that this is actually a symbol of a moon against the sun. As if they were in the sky at the same time.
That's all she can surmise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gloria is very distracted. Like she's just like,
You know
yeah,
that,
yeah, moon, sun, sure.
Kyrie, a goddess who was said to be Kyrie's sister or lover, I mean, kind of depended on the text and the story. Their relationship changed a lot. And you were never really sure what if there is an official story, you're not sure what it is. But Orbiana was the goddess of heavenly bodies. You're having these conversations, and I don't think any of you know yet that Lyssa has been granted an audience with her father in a sitting room or in a small kind of antechamber to the banquet hall. It is semi-private, but you're very sure that no one can hear you, Lyssa, but people will see you talking to your father.
Okay.
He's been fussed over all day because he's not been feeling well. And your mother is already receiving people at the, it's some sort of early version of tea type thing, afternoon tea. It's like an early dinner. It involves cooked breads and of the savory sort, and kind of an afternoon repast, a late afternoon repast that's supposed to tide you over until dinner. And your mother is receiving people, including some of the proxy and the Lysander officers, Tristan, Randall. No one seems perturbed, I think, right now that Aitor is not there. A few people seem perturbed that Tristan is, but, you know, Um, and the Duke is the Lord Duke, your father, Hector, is clearly highly distracted. He's like, Lyssa, yes, you'd wanted to see me. I'm sorry, I promise, when this unexpected party leaves, it shouldn't be long. They've got a pilgrimage to finish, and even the Lysanders are not made of money to pay pilgrims to take all their time in the world. They shouldn't be here for too many more days. You wanted to see me. Just briefly, we'll have time together later.
If it is only briefly, then, Father, I will skip the pleasantries and get to the heart of the matter. I believe that the Westerfields
Yes, you've heard. I was hoping to keep that a secret from you.
surely you don't work with them.
You know that all the families of the realm, Lyssa, must work together to keep the realm united. We can't have the unpleasantness break out as it did a few years ago. Again, I want a world in which my children are not required to go swim in rivers and run through woods to break sieges. And peace with the Lysanders is better than war with the Lysanders. All of us working together in the realm. But yes, Randall Westerfield, sealed by his own Count Father's hand, has delivered to me a proposal that you may be very interested in.
A proposal for war?
Well, Lyssa, that completely depends on your philosophy of marriage. But, he's a fop and a cad, but he's no worse than your brother. Your older brother. And Randall, I am sure, will grow into a young man who will make a very fine husband. I, of course, wanted to talk to you about this before officially accepting. And I'm so glad you brought this to me.
Father, I did not come to speak of political arrangements and marriage. I came to speak to you of those who would act against you, those who would act against all of us. There is, and she just pulls out the paper that Cora gave her. I'm like, read this. Surely this would show.
Where does this come from? Where are the signets?
Just read it, Father, and believe me that it's the truth.
Is that on the edge of the paper? Where did you'll have to tell me where you got this.
This was obtained from Westerfield himself.
How in the world did you get this off of Randall?
When I don't want to be seen, I'm not seen, Father.
If only your brother would learn that. But you stole his correspondence. That's a tad awkward. What happened to the signets? And I'm going to need you to make a charisma check.
Yeah. My charisma is a 12.
Okay.
And I rolled a 2.
All right.
I would have also accepted a failure.
I will take this quite seriously. Your mother is hosting Lord Westerfield right now, and we, of course, cannot address it in front of the Lysanders.
We need to be prepared. Treachery is resting in the shadows, waiting to stab at us when we aren't looking.
Well, what would you suggest, my cunning daughter?
That's why I came to you, Father. This is above me. This is... Kick them out. Kick them all out. Make them leave. Close the walls. Protect the village.
He rings a little bell, and you see the sergeant at arms for the castle enter, and your father has kind of a whispered conversation with him, gesturing to you.
And I get escorted away.
No.
Put in my room and locked the door.
No. Your father looks at you archly and just says, like, because I suspect you might be correct and would never be so crass as to forge letters and plant them on a future husband. Despite what your grandmother taught you. I'll double the guards around the feast hall tonight. And at the gates and around the walls. The guards will not be terribly cheerful about this, but, they'll survive. I can't just throw pilgrims out. That is our duty to protect all pilgrims on the road. That is given to us by the kings and the gods.
Yes, Father.
However, I am not required just to allow assassins to dapple at my gates. I will, see what to do about dinner. Let's postpone it till later. I'll serve it to the third or fourth bell, Southern style. Late.
Yes, Father.
I've conferred with the guard and seen what to do. Is there anything else you would like me to know?
Westerfield speaks the language of demons.
How do you know that?
Because, Father, I heard him speak them, and grandmother taught them to me.
You are not the only Wolfram to know the language of demons. But you were the very first Drestfall that I'm aware of. I will have to think about this. Lyssa, if you'll excuse me.
Of course.
Is there
Father.
anything else?
No, Father.
And where do you go now, Lyssa?
I go look for Aitor and or Stig and or Gloria or somebody.
We're looking for you desperately, probably.
Someone to help me figure out what the next step is.
So I guess we meet and relay that these are not the pilgrims at all.
Oh, if I'd only known. I could have told Father.
Well, we can tell him at dinner, but that's delayed, right?
Yes.
Fuck.
I think at this point, the sun crosses the horizon. It's still somewhat light.
We should probably not wait until it's nighttime because, you know.
It's still got some light, but the sun is dipped below the horizon. I'd like all of you to make a saving throw. If you don't make the saving throw, you'll be spending a fortune point.
Okay.
And this
Saving
is
throw
versus spells.
Of fucking course. I will spend a fortune point.
Fortune point automatically succeeds.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Gloria was right. We will be spending fortune points on this shit.
I got a 4.
Yeah.
You need to get above your saving throw, right?
Yes, you
Yes.
do.
Oh, man, I got a 2. Okay, I'm spending.
Why are we suddenly rolling bad? I got a 4. What?
Because we
All
only
right,
go in one direction.
at least we didn't spend all our fortune points already, so
I'm spending my last one. Like,
Do we get to know what happens if we don't spend the fortune point?
we
I
fall
mean,
asleep, obviously.
Do you want that to happen? Do you want
I
that?
don't know. Might be interesting. Stig's the only one that hasn't had one of these dreams yet.
I think you all start to stumble, and a wave of the people around you kind of emanating from the rooms, the feast hall that Lyssa just left. People just start to stumble to the ground and collapse. And all of you start to, but you're able to sort of regain your composure.
Well, shit. Okay, let's go find Father.
Well, maybe that we can say that the way we regained our composure was each of us remembered one of the songs from our dreams.
Oh yeah. Thank you. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm running back in to see what's happened to my family.
And I think Stig is going to say, "Wait, Aitor, we need to get some skeletons. I'm telling you, we've got to get skeletons."
You get skeletons. I'm gonna deal with these guys with Randall.
Now we need someone with, no offense, Aitor, but we need someone of brute strength to take those skeletons out there. I'll come with Lyssa and take care of Randall.
Okay, fine.
Um, all of you make a charisma check. Or it's not a charisma, a wisdom. Sorry. If you have alertness, Lyssa, or anyone else with alertness, treat your wisdom as 2 higher.
I got a 10 and I needed a 15.
I got a 10 and I need an 11.
This is a check, so you're rolling low.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got a 10 out of 11.
I got 11 and I have 16 wisdom.
I got a 5.
Okay. All of you get the strange, creepy notion that even though you've seen everybody just sort of collapse, including people holding things, and you're seeing some of them start snoring, there's still some people somewhere in the background that are moving around.
Yeah, that's why we need to get to Father to stop him from getting assassinated, right?
So I know that Lyssa and Gloria are running into the feast hall, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Aitor, where are you running?
Feast hall as well. I'm gonna wake Father up and the guards at least.
Okay. Stig? You're muted, Christo.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. If we don't know, Stig doesn't know where the gray man would go, does he? So he doesn't want to go after skeletons if he does, because he realizes navigating with skeletons through the castle with lots of bodies lying around is not going to be easy. So I think he'll like.
I mean, you know, there's lots of skeletons in the crypt, but that could upset people as well.
Yeah.
Also, there's the peasants' graveyard outside the wall.
Yeah. So I think he'll like, Aitor abandoned me. Well, fine. I'll just go with them, and he'll go out with the rest of them. Is everybody else going to the same direction towards the family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then we'll stick together.
And I will remind you briefly, Stig, that you've not had a chance to use Call the Swarm, so I'm looking
Oh, I know.
for you to have fun, creative ways to use that spell, because you are 2nd level and can do 2 spells now.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All right. And you have Ebony with you, correct, Stig? Correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you are running towards... All right. So I think you you get to the feast hall. Let's see, your mother and your father asleep, literally on their plates. Like your mother has fallen in face forward into a scone. A very cheesy scone. And there's broken pottery on the floor where the servants dropped it where they fell asleep. And this is not a feast, so it's really just, the ranking member of the Proxy's party and visiting nobles. Tristan is kind of holding his head and looking like he can barely stay awake. And then he's just fighting to stay awake and present. And Randall Westerfield pats him on the shoulder and stands up and yawns, a very, very big yawn. And his jaw extends. And as he breathes out, all the color leaves his face. And all the color leaves his hair. And his eyes are closed. But as he unyawns and he opens them again, you see the pure blackness where there used to be some sort of excessively charming green to his eyes. And his guard, or what you thought was the Lysander guard standing by, start to contort themselves. And stretch their arms. And you realize you only thought they were the human. They're actually the gray creatures you saw in your dreams yesterday down when you were bathing in the pools underground. And they start to sniff along the ground and pull themselves forward with long claws and scraggly hair, leaving the Lysander things behind. And the dark figure of Lord Westerfield, or the shadowy figure of Lord Westerfield, says, "Let us do this and be done with it." And that's what you come in on. It's going to be very hard to be stealthy. And he says that and then turns around, noticing you, as do the figures crawling across the floor. Everyone else in the room is asleep. What do you do? What do you say before we roll initiative?
One of the true names, Stig.
So are we thinking this is the gray man? Or
either a gray man or some sort of avatar of him. Like, you're unlikely to, outside the dreams, you're unlikely to see his true form, but something is taking Randall Westerfield is certainly letting something possess him. But if you want to use a true name to give a command, we're going to go to initiative. But is there anything you would like to say out loud before we do?
You're muted, Tristan.
specifically Stig or anybody?
Anybody. This is your chance to tell Randall Westerfield what you think of him.
Except Randall Westerfield isn't here, so.
Right.
I think we're going straight to initiative.
Let's go straight to initiative. Roll a d6, add your initiative modifier.
Sorry, Krista.
No, what were you going to say, Stig?
I was going to call out the true name. So, but then I have to make a decision, don't I? Is it a Trexus or a Choreo? But by calling out the name, a character gains +5 actions against the creature, including attacking it, and to saving throws. So and then everybody else would know the name, although you all know it. Do I have, now that I see this, do I have any chance of figuring out which one it might be?
I want to know what your guess is. You've gotten a clue.
I know, I've got two. But we've seen both horses and we've got the haunters.
Pick one, and if it doesn't work next turn, we'll pick the other one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay. I think you'll pull out the symbol, which is sort of the symbol, sort of if it's a symbol of sort of a sun and a moon going into an eclipse, then the grayness seems appropriate. So sort of the gray silvery light that you get during an eclipse. And so I think I'll hold the symbol out and say, Corio, you have no power here. Be gone.
And then what is the benefit for knowing the true names again? So I can write it down. Instead of scamming around for it.
Yeah, that's why it took me a while. I was scanning for it. A character, it says, gains +5 to all actions taken against the creature, including attacking it. Also gains +5 bonus to all saving throws.
All right.
That seems to be what it gets. So if
you understand true names, I'm going to need somebody else to really kind of understand what you're doing when you said that, to kind of make their action to do it. Because you have an innate understanding, and you've already made this check, but you've said it aloud, and somebody else can try to use that as well.
Seems like Gloria would be the best to do it to me.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So let's roll initiative.
I have a 7.
Of course you do.
I got a 3.
6.
9.
Bruh.
I got an 8.
I want you guys to know that when I ran DCC this weekend, I could not hit to save my life, but I rolled 9s in initiative throughout the entire session. So okay. Okay. Let's start at 9. In Randall Westerfield, I think, lifts off the ground and drifts toward Gloria. Gloria, I trust that you do not have a 10 armor class, correct?
Not even close. Oh,
What is
no,
your armor
I got a
class?
9. I got a
You have
9.
a 9 armor class? I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
I guess it's close to a 10, but still not a 10.
He drifts over to you with a strange sort of. If it didn't happen so fast, it'd look languid, but it looks like someone doing something languid at high speed. And then he reels back and then slaps you. And you're still able to roll with a punch, but he still scuffs your cheek pretty badly for 2 damage. And I need you to make a saving throw versus polymorph or paralysis. Gloria.
Okay.
With the +5 or not?
Not with a +5. That applies to the person who truly knows the true name right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have a polymorph of 13. I rolled an 18.
Nice. Nice. You know he's trying to have some sort of nightmarish. He's trying to form nightmares in your brain or before your eyes. But you recall Kyrie and are able to blink them away.
She feels him trying to form the nightmares, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I
think. Can I make a response? Just a quick quip.
Yeah.
I think Gloria just laughs at that, and she just laughs and is like, "You don't know what sort of nightmares I've had."
Nice. Stig, 3 of the weird shadowy creatures that stepped out of the Lysander uniforms come towards you. Their mouths open, and you see long sort of teeth sort of extend from them. And one of them sort of doesn't bite. Before you're able to sort of get away from it. But 2 of them bite into you and then pull away, rending your clothes and definitely chewing into your skin a little bit, just missing anything vital. And you take 2 damage, or 3 damage, I'm sorry. And then Gloria. Aitor, what's your armor class?
14.
14? Okay. And then Stig, the ones that attack all the rest of your friends are terrible and don't know how to bound on top of people and chew on them. You got the good ones. And then we go to 8. Initiative count 8.
That would be Stig.
Stig, what are you doing?
So I've got 3 of them around me. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
So we've got 3 of them, and how many more do we have of these things?
You have a total of 6. And Randall Westerfield.
And
Do we know whether the tuning worked or not? Or does he know?
Turning what? I'm sorry?
Does Stig know whether the tuning worked?
The true name.
The true name? You know the true name seems to have worked, Stig.
Oh.
But it worked for you.
Right. Which is why he sent 3 of them at me. So, and how many people are asleep in this room?
Let's do 18 or 17.
Okay. Oh, and we have other things we haven't done before. So theoretically, I could take a defensive stance.
Yes.
And that's your only move? Is that what that is then?
You just take a stance and then declare what else you're doing.
Then I'm going to take a defensive stance, and I'm going to cast... Correct me if I'm wrong. we can wake them. If this is like the other sleeping spells, we can wake people.
Oh no,
first,
this seems much deeper than the other sleeping spells.
Okay, well. Foiled again. Okay, then I guess I could go all or nothing. I'll take a defensive stance, and he's going to cast Mage Light into the face of Westerfield.
Okay. What happens when you cast Mage Light in somebody's face? Does it say, or should we improvise?
It's just you improvise, but I figured he's something that's sort of shadowy, so that having that light right on his eyes would not be a good thing. But I have to take.
Want to ignore anything specific.
Yeah, I have to take minuses to do something that cool. It's a question of how many minuses.
Let's see. Why don't you just roll your intelligence, but treat it as 2 points lower?
Would the +5 be applicable here?
Yes. No, actually, no, because it's an attack. It's not an attack. You are summoning light.
Okay.
And that does not really change your ability to summon light. Does it?
Did I? Oh, I guess I got the same thing. So I got a 10.
Nice. Okay.
So that was the roll on the dice. And what did you say you wanted me to do to it? +1, -2, or something like that?
I mean, like, yeah, your intelligence is 15, so anything 13 or less would have been fine.
Cool.
You could have been -5 or less, and you would have been in good shape. And you're in a defensive stance, and all of a sudden, Randall's head starts to glow. And Tristan starts to stir, and try to stand up. And is fumbling for things on the table. 7.
That's me.
All right, Lyssa.
So we can't wake anybody up. Is that correct?
You would need to really kind of experiment with that. There's not but that would be your action.
Right. Is Tristan awake, or did he finally fall asleep?
He is staggering to his feet, very, very slowly.
What to do? So you just cast a spell, Stig, right? And how did Westerfield respond?
We haven't seen yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen him.
His head is glowing.
His head is glowing.
So it doesn't make him look any better, but
no.
If nothing, it makes him look creepier, I'm sure. I like to picture it that he started glowing from the inside, like the light. I might have slightly, so it's like
like that kind of a gray translucence, but now there's light coming from inside him.
Yeah.
I will throw my dagger at the glowing head of Westerfield.
Awesome. Take let's call it a +3.
In addition to the bonus that I already have, or
yeah, just because he's glowing.
Gotcha. Alrighty, so I have +6, so it's my dexterity +6, or no? I don't get it. What is the +6?
You're just gonna roll and try to beat his armor class. So just tell me what you get.
He has armor class. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I rolled a 5, so that's an 11.
An 11? Do you want to spend a fortune point to reroll, or are your fortune points gone?
I still have 2 fortune points. I will see if I can roll better than that.
Okay.
And I got an 8, so 14.
A 14?
Yeah.
That is not quite enough.
Okay.
Um,
What kind of? Let me see. What kind of? Oh, I should have taken a stance first. Oh well.
you can. So this.
I'll take an aggressive stance.
You want to take an aggressive stance, and we can just add that.
Yep.
That will hit him if you take the aggressive stance.
Okay. I have -4 to my AC then.
All right. Roll your damage.
Okay. So a dagger is a D4.
Yeah.
That's a color I don't even have set up yet. Let's see here. 1D4 yellow. I got a 1.
Let's go ahead and let's just set it to maximum. You do 4. It's
Okay.
just glowing. It's hard to. It's not only hard to miss him. It's hard to not.
Deal maximum damage. Okay, cool.
It
We'll
just
take
it
that.
highlights all the weak spots in his head.
I go for the third eye or the.
Really, I was just adding 3 to it, but Lyssa, your dagger goes into his chest, below his heart,
Oh,
and sticks
okay.
there. And
Okay.
light emerges from the cracks where the dagger is.
Aitor's turn.
Aitor's turn. So we're on 6. Is that Aitor?
Yes, I will shank someone with an aggressive stance.
Are you bypassing the things that tried to bite you, or
How many things that bite
just
me?
one?
Sure, I'll bypass them, and then I'll take an aggressive stance now. So
Yeah. So you're gonna add +2. So you also get the +3 to hit. So that's a total of +5 to whatever you normally get.
+3, so that's +8 total.
Roll.
That's a 14 +8.
Awesome. Roll your damage.
Which is thing 6 +2 plus whatever else you want to do that.
Yeah, let's add 2 to that.
Well, it's normally 8d8 +2. I rolled a 6, so
Yeah, so I'm saying let's add another 2 to that. So that's a 10.
10. Yeah.
And what did you attack with, and what did it look like?
It's with my longsword, and I just stabbed him from the back.
And I believe the only person who is not gone is Gloria. Gloria, what are you doing?
So the Aitor stabbed Randall as well.
Right.
Yeah, she doesn't have any offensive cells, so she's just gonna add to the stabbing, like because well, Randall went for her first.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So like so I'm guessing this all kind of happened in like a split second. So he was looking at her,
Right.
while everyone else stabbed him. So she's kind of like, you made a big mistake. You went for the least important person in this entire room. You went for the silly girl who's haunted by God in her head. And she pulls out her dagger. And yeah, she'll also take an aggressive stance.
Nice. Okay.
And
Take a -4 to AC. To your 9 AC. Oh my god. And 1 HP left on top of that.
oh yeah, I have 1.
Bruh.
Hey, well, let's make for the big play. Like this is the last session. So.
YOLO. YOLO, guys.
Exactly. Like everyone's stabbing him. It might as well. Because I was thinking, I thought of doing petrifying gaze on him, but then because it's his turn next.
Right.
Ooh, actually, I might just do that because she used that gaze on Randall Westerfield.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so to keep him locked in there, even though he's the conduit to an eldritch god. And again, she was also the conduit to a god, so parallel, blah blah blah. So I think it will be petrifying gaze instead.
1 second. I'm gonna check something about petrifying gaze. 1 sec. Oh, okay. And what's the effect of petrifying gaze?
Let's see, they're reading here. Yes, it freezes the target with but a look. They'll be immobile but otherwise unharmed if the victim fails their saving throw.
How long does it last if they fail?
Fails. If it fails, well, I guess it wouldn't work. Like,
Right.
because if it succeeds, oh wait. Yeah, if it succeeds,
If
then
they fail their saving throw.
They're just going to make a saving throw. Sorry, what does it say that? How long does it say it lasts? That's what I'm asking. Sorry.
It just says duration of 1 round / level.
1 round. Okay.
Yeah.
Per level, and you're level 2.
Yeah.
Awesome. The light sort of emerges from his eyes, and he just stops moving as your eyes lock with his. And I think from there, I got a 5 and a 5. So no matter what my bonuses are, I end up with the same initiative counts.
Oh, we will roll initiative?
Yeah, let's roll initiative.
All right, that's an 8.
That's a 4.
Anybody match a 5? Anybody beat a 5?
I got a 5 exactly.
A 5 exactly?
And Crystal got an 8 as well.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one who did.
Crystal and Stig and Aitor, what are you doing?
I'm gonna keep stabbing him because I can.
Aitor.
I get a +8, so unless the light fades. What's my bonus?
That is a +8. You are correct.
Okay, cool. Okay, 1 more than I had before, so yes, I hit.
Nice. You had 1 more than you had before, so
Which was a 14 with +8, which is now 15 +8, so I hit.
Okay. So
I
how much
rolled
is your
a
damage?
1 + 2 + 2, so 5.
All right. And then Stig, what are you doing?
So, first question: how does Westerfield look?
It's hard to say. He's glowing from places that
Most people don't.
yeah. But then most people are not looking like he looks right now.
Don't we have to tie him up and then throw him off the wall or something?
We have to get him out of the castle. Is all we have to do, actually.
You have to banish him from the castle.
Yeah, we have to kick him out somehow. Yeah.
Don't you know his true name? Can't you just say leave this place?
It doesn't quite work that way unless I have like the spell, and I don't know Banish. I don't deal with demons despite what Gloria thinks.
Okay, then let's stab him to death, I guess.
Yeah, I think you've got that all pretty well in hand. I think what he'll do
Tell
is
your raven to peck him to death.
No, I'm going to summon a swarm of rats.
That's good, yes.
And can I be select? I guess I have to be selective of how I do this.
The swarm of small animals, bats, insects, rats, comes from the immediate area and moves roughly as you command. The precise type of creature is dependent on the local fauna. Those caught in the swarm take 1 point per turn. The swarm persists until dispersed or until the caster loses concentration. The caster must focus on directing the swarm and nothing else for the duration.
And none of these things are these crawling, biting things are attacking any of the sleeping people, correct? They're just attacking us.
Right now, yes.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess I'll summon the swarm to attack all of them, if that's possible.
So you're not calling a swarm of rats from the cracks in the castle?
Oh yeah, you're gonna tell me that they're not rats in this castle?
Oh, there's rats all over this castle, and they are now all surging into this room.
Yeah, this is
A few of them
help my
even
reputation.
fall
Okay.
onto the plates and tables around and swarm towards the glowing man.
I picture them like being so many of them. They're like a blanket that swells and goes across the floor, and then starts going up these creatures and biting on them.
Stig, some of them fall onto one of the creatures near you, but most of them focus on the prince. Who is now glowing and frozen and covered in rats that are dropping onto him from above and crawling up his legs. And I think the next turn order is 5 that somebody had.
I have 5.
And somebody also had 4, right?
Yeah, Gloria has 4.
Okay.
Yeah, and is the assumption then that I'm still in my defensive stance?
You can be.
Yeah, I'd like to be in my defensive stance.
All right. So at first, let's the things are going to surge towards Aitor, who is and Aitor, what's your total armor class with a -4 from the last round? 10. 3 of them bite you, while others are trying to like pick their way through the rats that are surging all around you and onto the person next to you, Aitor.
Okay.
But you take 3 damage from being bit and clawed at by this swarm of things that once looked like humans, but now look like burned, dark scrabblings that kind of scuttled out from between their clothes. Lyssa, what are you doing? This happened simultaneously with what just happened to Aitor.
Well, she's pretty freaked out. And
there are a lot of rats and a man who is glowing and has been stabbed multiple times. And is glowing through the places that you stabbed.
Yeah.
Does Gloria know Banish?
I do not believe so.
Well, I don't know how good my memory is, but you know, I have heard someone trying to control something from another dimension before. So
Lyssa, make an intelligence check.
Okay. Alrighty, my intelligence is a 9.
Right.
And I roll 16.
Uh,
I'll spend my last fortune point.
okay.
Try again. Try again. $19. No good.
Yeah, you're trying to remember what Stig said.
No, I was trying to remember what Aki said when he was controlling. I was gonna try to bring Whispertongue down on the Gray Man, but I don't remember how to do it. So.
Oh yeah. Very clever.
Yeah. So I'm still gonna say it, but I just don't. I mean, I'll.
Are you gonna do anything else to him? Or try to do something else to him? But actually, you were trying to kind of you were trying to work a working.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what you were going to do.
Yeah, it is. I'll shift to a defensive stance.
Awesome. Aitor, what's your armor class again?
10.
10. After this round, it goes back to its normal. You feel a knife sink in to your shoulder before sort of falling away. Like it badly scrapes you. You take 4 damage. And you look over, and your brother Tristan has thrown a knife at you. And he's got his squeaks out. This was going to be my moment.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Gloria.
Let's see. So Randall Westerfield is still turning to a disco ball.
Yeah.
Tristan has
Tristan has stabbed me instead of me stabbing Tristan, so
yeah. Lyssa was trying to bring down Whispertongue.
Right.
And what's Gloria do? Like she does see that, and she kind of recognizes what Lyssa's trying to do. Ooh. I mean, yeah, could. Who'd be next after this? We'd have to do another initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know what I could do else. The thing is, Randall has not done anything. He's just been standing there.
He's
petrified, clearly, right? He's not done much besides, he didn't get a chance to do anything.
Okay, yeah, and he's still
Keep
petrified.
staring at him. That's better.
Is that how that? I don't think that's how that works. I think he'll be.
You have to
freed.
cast it again, I think. Oh wait, no, he won't be free because it's 2 turns.
Yeah.
It has
yes, 2 turns. So I kind of have to keep holding my gaze. Well, not holding, I guess, because it'll just be there.
Right.
I think. Yeah. I'm trying to think that. I'm honestly at a loss.
What would you like to do?
See, I don't know. I kind of want to just kill this Randall thing, but
why don't you swing at it?
Yeah, that's like the only way it will die. So
yeah, Gloria is feeling my frustration at this, and kind of like
if you go aggressive, you'll get a +2.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you'll get a total of +5.
Yeah. Thing is, I am on 1 HP, so who knows what will happen. But Randall is locked. Yeah, I think, okay. I think, yeah. I think we'll just go to what I was going to do earlier and just stab Randall in face, probably. Go aggressive. While there's commotion going on, while Tristan is distracted with Aitor. Yeah.
Stab him.
Cool. What do I need to roll for that again?
Just a D20.
Alright, cool. And I got a 12.
Plus the 5?
Yeah.
With the +5 or without the +5?
Oh, without. So
Without. So yeah, you hit him.
yeah.
Roll a D4 and add 2.
That's a 6 total.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's 6.
That's a 6.
Yeah.
Gloria, where do you stab him that makes the light go out?
In his eye.
Stab Randall in the eye socket, yeah.
And because of... And yeah, I think as soon as you stab him in the eye, the other chewing things start to melt. And, Aitor, one of them bites into you, though, as it dissolves.
Okay.
For 3 damage. The rest of them just vanish.
Bruh, I'm at 2 hit points.
Let's just talk through Aitor. Tristan just stabbed you. What are each of you doing?
Is everyone waking up?
No.
If they're not waking up, I'm gonna stab Tristan right now.
Roll to hit. That's just your normal bonus. If you want to go aggressive, you can take it.
I mean, I'm going to go aggressive because YOLO.
Right.
Alright. And that's a 19 plus whatever. So if it doesn't hit, then I'll be surprised.
That's a hit.
Roll damage, you mean, right?
Yep, roll damage.
That's 3 total.
3 total?
Yeah. That was a shitty damage roll.
Well, Tristan's not a very tough guy, so you draw a lot of blood, but Tristan's still wavering and standing there. What are the rest of you doing?
Wait, so what's Randall doing?
Randall's dead.
He is dead. He's like,
Yeah.
he went down and...
The light went out. And the other creatures just sort of dissolved.
Okay. Our castle doesn't have a moat, does it?
No, but Tristan is also still standing there, fighting with Aitor.
And he just fucking stabbed Aitor.
Oh.
Well,
actually, this is actually really easy then. I think the rats are just going to move from the bodies to Tristan. Because they're hungry, and those things just didn't really fill them. And because, you know, I've always got your back.
Yeah, thanks.
It's one of my flags.
Tristan had 1 hit point left, and the rats are going to finish him. Aitor, you also take 1 hit point of damage. as the rats surge over you, and you're having to like untangle yourself from them.
Guys, I'm at 1 HP. I'm fine.
Hey, 1 HP twinsies.
Yay, twinsies.
Well, the people in the feast hall sleep, and the people around the keep sleep. I'd like each of you to tell me a thing you do. And if it's going to take more than one person, you'll need to have somebody. You'll need to recruit somebody else.
Do something for what?
What's that thing you do before people wake up?
Well, the rats are going to totally dismantle Tristan and not leave a trace of him.
I guess we present the evidence right now to not incriminate us. Like the evidence Gloria has.
Yeah, I still have the letter.
She still has the letter.
Yeah.
So, but the other thing, and Stig is going to say, we have to get rid of this body. We have to take it out. We have to banish it.
Okay, banish the body. Does anyone know how to banish bodies?
So, like,
Stig will need help to do this.
So here's the thing: is I think I'll help you out with this, Stig, and here's my reasoning. Like somebody wants me to be the head of the family, and I almost summoned forth a demon, and I just feel like I'm a really big liability, and I don't want to be around. So I think I'm going to take the body and just flee.
I am going to stop you because no, you're not leaving. You were important.
I must go. Well, I'm going to be the ruin of this family.
No, you aren't. Without you, we're done. You helped us do stuff.
And Stig is going to come up. We're in this together. We all took on Aki together. This is
and
all...
now Randall Westerfield and his fucking great prince and Tristan, I guess.
Drestfall needs us all.
But this body has to be banished. Someone has to take it.
Let's go into the forest and do it there. We'll take it beyond the city limits, and we can build a funeral pyre or something like that and just completely banish it.
Or we can wait for the priest to wake up, unless ones who aren't aligned with whatever her face is.
If these people wake up and there isn't somebody around to tell them what's going on, they're going to complete the mission they were sent to do, which is to take out the family. We can't all go.
I'll stay here. I'll stay here.
Gloria gives Lyssa the letter from that was given to the Pontifex, and was like, "Me and Stig will take care of this. Two of you, you're the true Drestfalls. You're gonna have to keep this place together. Me and him, look, we're not that important. You know.
You can meet us in the glade in the forest at moonlight. Let us know how everything turned out."
Okay. There's no role to be convinced, so at some point I have to give. So
you don't have to if you don't want to.
Well, we
do have full agency.
We're gonna. Well, we keep talking in circles, right? So
until people wake up and they're like, "What the fuck are these people doing here?"
All right, you two, go. We'll take care of this.
All right.
Let's go to epilogues. And I'll give you a framing question for your epilogue. And I'll begin with Aitor. Aitor, when your parents wake up along with the rest of the court, what do you hand them?
The letter, and say, And I say, I explain everything, and then I hand in the letter with the implications. I don't know what
I
else.
think so. This will be my second question. I'll begin with a statement. Sometime later, your father calls you into his chamber and says your brother was a disappointment.
That's an understatement.
I fully trust that you will not be.
I hope so too.
I expect so. Dalliances with peasants will end. I take it there are no questions.
No.
So my question for you is, does Aitor stay? And if so, what does his life become? Or does Aitor leave?
I think he stays, but not before saying goodbye to people who had to, yeah, like I think he requests the, like, he requests to see them go, to see like a farewell and shit.
All right. Lyssa, you agreed to stay through the night. Do you stay through your brother's funeral? And if so, or your half brother's funeral? And if so, how much longer after that?
So does my half brother get a funeral? You said all evidence of him was destroyed.
Oh, that's what Stig said. But I'll cover. He does get a funeral.
Okay. I think so to prevent the war from happening, I do get married.
Well, Randall's dead.
Right, but the Lysanders were on the verge of war with us too, right?
No, once that's over, it turns out that that proxy was not representing the Lysanders at all. Those were forgeries.
Oh. Okay. Then I think I move to be with my grandmother after the funeral and learn more from her.
Do you ever return to Castle to the Crow's Watch?
At least once as I perform the pilgrimage.
What happens between you and Maricia?
Well, with Aitor being the heir apparent and his drinking needs increasing to ever higher levels, I think she's unable to go with me.
What's the last time you see her?
Years later, I'm traveling somewhere and I see her at her annual destination wine market where she picks up new wines.
Do you speak to her, or do you just pass?
She has someone with her, so I leave her alone.
Stig.
Yes.
The rats, according to the Die of Fate, do not finish destroying Prince Tristan's body. And when people come to, his remains are hard to identify, but ultimately present. Who gets blamed? It's not you.
Who gets blamed for his death?
Yes.
By rats?
Yeah. It's not you.
The exterminator? I mean, there's got to be somebody in the castle that's meant to keep the rats at bay.
Right, right.
So whether it's a groundskeeper or something like that, this horrible infestation of rats, that obviously, by the bite marks and whatnot, and probably there some pieces of rats might have been left because they were in a frenzy. So it was obvious it was rats.
Do you speak up and say anything about the rat catcher? If so, what? Because banishment is as good as he's going to get. That's lucky.
No, because I'll say that he was somebody that was always sort of bullying me or playing nasty tricks. He was a nasty guy. So banishment is sort of, it's actually sort of a nice thing. The Stig is actually happy that I see him go.
Stig, what nightmares still haunt your dreams? Or what nightmare images from the past few days still come to you?
Whispertongue whispering in my ear, and just as I turn to look towards it, it falls apart into a swarm of rats that scatters away and hides in the castle.
Sorry about the sirens. Gloria, do you denounce Pontifex Kemp, or do you keep her secret?
Sorry, my internet dropped there.
You're still there. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Just for that.
Do you denounce her, or do you keep her secret?
No, yeah, she's gonna reveal it. She.
Uh, what do you regret as she is led away?
I think it's fairly obvious. It's leaving Sherry just like that, leaving her to fend for herself.
And do you stay in the Dressfall lands?
No, I think she felt it's time to slip away. Like she learned to give to the old wayfarers. I think, and after all this, near demonic sacrifice, all this, I think she felt that it's time to slip away. She doesn't even want to say goodbye to anyone.
And does Sherry come with you, or do you leave?
No, I think she leaves Sherry. She doesn't. Yeah. And I think she thinks it's best to just, like, after lying to her, just go. Just be a bad memory.
Hmm. All right. I think that's everything. Let's stop.